Imagine having the time and money to follow your passions and live life on your own terms. Welcome to Podcasting Mastery, where you'll learn the secrets of podcasting your way to a stress-free lifestyle. Let's grab a cool tropical drink and then join James, Kimberly, and the Turtle in the Secret Beach Hut Studio.
Yes, this is James Martell along with Kimberly Juchnowski.
Hello there.
And we are tucked into the Secret Beach Hut Studio, and we are so glad you've decided to join us. This week we are going to kick off our conversation about developing a lifestyle business so we can all spend less time doing business and more time enjoying our families, more time traveling, and more time doing the things that matter to us all most. It's for these reasons we focus on strategies for both developing a passive monthly income stream and passive ways of developing new clients and customers for your business. Kimberly, welcome. Great to be kicking off Podcasting Mastery.
Yes, great to be here and kicking it off with you. So each week what we're going to be doing is starting off each episode with a little bit of music to set the tone for the episodes. Today we're going to be starting off with a little bit of Hawaiian music just to set the tone for the show, which is work less, earn more, and swim with the turtles.
It's such a great topic. I do know probably it's a good guess that everybody would probably prefer to work a little less. I don't know anybody that wouldn't like to earn a little bit more. And swimming with the turtles is purely a representation of breaking free. Getting a little freedom into your life, maybe financially free, a little more time freedom, just breaking away from the grind. And we're going to be discussing ways of doing that using podcasting as the vehicle as we move through each of the episodes. And I should warn you that you may hear the odd blue Hawaiian helicopter fly overhead, or maybe a boat going by, or Kimberly happens to be a bartender or had been a bartender for 10 years, so you may hear her fire up the blender and share the odd tropical drink recipe. I think that's a great idea. What do you think of that, Kimberly?
I think we could arrange that.
And we also would like to ask you to help us quickly reach the 1,000 subscriber mark for the show so we can name the turtle. And we do have a turtle, and he currently does not have a name, and we are not going to name him until we hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you would like to help us out in that area, simply head over to podcastingmastery.com and enter your name and email address there so we can get this little character, little friend of ours, all named up. He's a little vanilla at the moment, so we got to solve that problem. Now, today what we're going to do, if we may, Kimberly, I think this is a good idea. Let's talk about the listener and who we are developing this show for, because our goal here is to help you solve some of the problems and challenges you may be having as a business owner. I think it would be a safe bet, Kimberly, that most business owners are extremely busy.
Yes, and also possibly low on funds. They may not be sure of who to trust or what to do with things like Facebook, Twitter, Google, their website, their SEO. They just might not be on the up and up with digital marketing as a whole, and just not sure where to start.
So true. And I've had a chance to work with business owners for many, many, many years, and I know that to be true. And even those that are not low on funds, everybody's very protective of their money. They don't want to waste money on strategies that don't work. We know some of the more traditional strategies that business owners have relied upon over the years, such as the yellow pages and such as newspaper advertising. More of the old school style marketing strategies really don't perform like they do. In fact, in some cases, some areas, the yellow book is gone. And other areas, newspapers are closing their doors, and it's because they don't have the audiences they once had. And even those that have managed to stick with newspaper advertising, I was talking to a gentleman in Florida yesterday who still uses the newspaper to generate leads for a seminar that he does, but he says he spends twice as much now to get 1/3 of what he used to get. And it's because the audience has shifted. So I think this whole area of online marketing and digital marketing and podcasting specifically is just such a great way to go, because it does give you the ability to work less, earn more, and swim with the turtles. It's something that you and I have talked a lot about over the years, Kimberly, and you know my podcast has been around for almost 12 years now, and it's something that I've enjoyed doing and continue to do. And I'm very excited to kick off Podcasting Mastery, because if you do need a reliable source for new customers or clients, I think you're going to find that podcasting is a really solid strategy in doing that. And we're going to talk about how podcasting can solve all your problems. So if you really don't know who to trust, and I do know many business owners that get phone calls at the office, or the receptionist does, all week long from people who are promising Google riches, and they're going to optimize you in this search engine, or they're going to put you in that directory, or they're going to get you up to the top of Google. All of the stuff that I know people are inundated with. We're going to give you the background and knowledge to understand, and the know-how to determine who to trust when you actually do get a call, because even though the traditional forms of advertising are no longer working, Kimberly, of course, business owners still need a reliable source to find new customers and clients.
Yeah, and the episodes will be focusing on discussing just that, sharing strategies for both developing a passive monthly income stream and passive ways of developing new clients and customers for your business in two ways. The first being podcasting as a standalone business, and then also podcasting as a strategy for developing new clients and customers.
And I think that's a good way to differentiate this too, because podcasting can be successfully done as a standalone business. So if you're someone who's looking for a lifestyle business that you're not buried in all of the stuff the traditional business or a traditional business might cover you up in, podcasting is a very light, nice, easygoing, leading edge way to go. And it's, as you'll see as we discuss this over the coming episodes, that the time to start a podcast is now. Even if you're a little nervous about it and you're not quite sure, if you're looking at podcasting as a method to create $100 a day income, $3,000 a month or more, we're going to be talking about strategies on how to do exactly that. If you're a chiropractor or a dentist, an attorney, maybe you own an automotive shop, maybe you're a chiropractor or a naturopath, or any type of business owner that's maybe not looking to start another business, but you're looking for a strategy that you can employ that will assist you in bringing in a steady stream of new clients and new customers, and make it easy for you and get it all done in less than an hour a week, so you can actually take a little bit of a breather here and say, oh, I got my marketing all hooked up and I've got a steady stream of new clients coming through the door. And one of the things that we're going to talk about in upcoming episodes very shortly, we're organizing them now, is actual case studies of clients that we've worked with who are doing exactly that, who now have a very passive way to bring in new clients. And we'll share exactly the type of clients they're bringing through the door. We're talking about how percentage of increase they've seen in business. We'll share exactly what we did for them in upcoming episodes, so that you can model these strategies for your own business to help you come up with a passive way to drive new business through your doors. Now, our goal here is to inspire you as well. Kimberly and I have had a chance to talk about this a lot. We love working with business owners. We'll talk a little bit about our backgrounds in just a minute here. But we love working with business owners. And our real goal here is to inspire you to start your own podcast. Even if you know really not much about it at this point, just bear with us as we dig through this information. I think you're going to find that this is an amazing marketing strategy that you can either host it yourself, or you can have it if you happen to be a brick and mortar business like some of our clients are, and they don't have the time to actually do the podcast for the company themselves, or they've taken one of their staff members and they've assigned that staff member to us, and then we help them launch their podcast and manage it on a weekly basis. So there's many ways to go here. And Kimberly, talk about some of the topics that we're going to be covering in upcoming episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. We will have a vast array of topics also, not only showing you how to start a podcast, but helping you out with finding ideas and maybe making you more comfortable with the process if you're completely new to it. And it is worth mentioning, as you just touched on, this isn't just for online businesses, it's for brick and mortar businesses as well, which many of our case studies actually from our clients are brick and mortar businesses who really didn't have much to do with online marketing. So it should be really interesting. I'll just list off a couple of the titles of the shows that we're going to be doing. First, one, well, not in any particular order, but first one on my list, how to position yourself as a recognized expert in your marketplace, how to make money podcasting even if you don't have a product of your own. Another one would be how to use a podcast to sell more to your existing customers, how to your way to sounding like a pro.
That's a great one. I love that.
It is. I think I just said so it'll give you some tips and tools to work those out of your podcast so that you do sound very professional.
And just about I'd say just about every one of us starts with that. And even though I've been doing it now for almost 12 years with my show, I still stumble upon the old and the odd, So that's a fun episode. I look forward to it.
It is, yes. And practice makes perfect. So that's another thing we'll touch on during that episode. Other ones would be how to come up with a never-ending list of interesting topics for your show. A lot of people, sorry, James.
No, you go ahead.
A lot of people think, what am I going to talk about when I get on my podcast? And that stumps them, and it stops them from actually getting to the initial stage of doing your first episode. And I think my favorite method is to just go for it. Go for the first one, start talking. Lots of ideas come about just by starting a conversation. So we'll talk about that and a lot of other ways to help you in that episode. Did you want to add to that one, James?
No, I think you pretty much covered there. We're going to talk about how to leverage your time by using audio to scatter your sales message all over the net. We're going to talk about how to grab attention with audio. And one of the first case studies we're going to be sharing upcoming is a chiropractor that increased the number of new patients through his door by 1,700% using 5 little 3-minute audios. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about how to monetize your ebook with a podcast. And we'll talk about earning $100 a day with a podcast from no fixed address for those of you who are looking at podcasting as a standalone business. And we're going to share some real case studies. You're going to be able to model these case studies, put them to work for you using audio to generate new clients and revenues. And this entire show, the Podcasting Mastery podcast, is dedicated to making money with podcasting. We're not talking about podcasting as a hobby. We're talking about podcasting as a very powerful strategy to drive new business. And I do know, speaking with many business owners, one of the first questions that I hear is, how can you turn a podcast, or how can you use a podcast to actually get a new customer to call me on the phone, to book an appointment, or to come through the door, or to buy a product of mine online? We're going to cover all of that with real examples of success and things that you can actually copy yourself. And we're going to do this all having, Kimberly, a little bit of fun.
Absolutely.
And do you think we're going to take ourselves too seriously?
Definitely not. We'll give you all the information and the tools that you'll need, but we're going to be sharing a lot of personal stories, a lot of travel stories, lifestyle stories, stories that came about because we had the opportunity to work remotely and use podcasting as a way to drive business, and has opened up a lot of opportunity for us to swim with those turtles, and we'll be talking about the turtles often.
I see it's time for us to take a short break. When we return, we'll dig into a little bit of the lifestyle chatter we want to cover off in each one of the upcoming episodes, and talk a little bit about our background and why we are so excited about podcasting. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
More Podcasting Mastery with James and Kimberly from the Secret Beach Hut Studio after this. Would you love to spend less time doing business and more time enjoying your family, more time traveling, and more time doing all of the things that matter to you most? Whether you're looking to develop a passive monthly income stream, or you're looking for passive ways of generating new clients and customers for your business, James Martell's free podcasting webinar is the place to start. James Martell, an 11-year podcasting veteran, will show you how to quickly and easily launch a podcast that will impress all who hear it to attract all of the clients and customers you need, and how to do it all in less than 1 hour a week using equipment you already own. Register now for this lifestyle and business-changing webinar at podcastingmastery.com/webinar. We'll see you there. Once again, that's www.podcastingmastery.com/webinar. Now back to Podcasting Mastery from the Secret Beach Hut Studio.
Okay, so we are back. Now, Kimberly, let's start off with a little bit of our background here. You and I, how did we first meet? Tell the story.
Well, we met at a little seaside pub, actually, in White Rock. I was bartending there, and you were a customer. And
Allegedly.
Allegedly. You actually used to go there during the lunch times to work on your laptop, which I thought was kind of funny because at that point in time, I didn't even own a laptop or a computer at all.
That's right, which was really quite funny because that really wasn't that long ago, was that? 9 years ago now, I guess?
Yeah, it was about nine years ago.
Yeah, so here you are, no computer, not technically savvy at all. Not only that, but you just didn't care about it. You didn't want anything to do with it, really. Wasn't it?
Yeah,
radar screen, you didn't care.
Yeah.
So you and I, we got a chance to get to meet through the pub. You, of course, got to meet my wife, Arlene, and we've become very good friends over the years. And over the years, we've traveled together to lots of the times, the three of us, to many conferences, internet marketing conferences, where we've sat through and listened to many amazing speakers. And we've learned a ton over the years about successfully marketing businesses online. Your title is you're a digital marketing strategist. And you've been very successful at doing that. And talk a little bit about what you do on the side. Of course, we've come together here to create a podcast about podcasting, but we both have our own businesses and we both have our own areas of expertise. And Kimberly and I have worked together, so I know what she's capable of, which is a ton. And she's got a lot to share, and I'm really happy to have you on the show. So talk a little bit about your background as far as working in the online world, because you've come a long way from somebody that literally didn't have a computer or an internet connection or anything to where you are today.
This is true. It is funny when I talk to people and I say, I was 24 years old when I got my first laptop. But it's true. That's how I started. And I actually started after meeting you. And it's because of meeting you, I decided to sort of get cracking on the online business. I actually started in affiliate marketing. So in 2009, I built my first affiliate website, which was based on travel. Of course, I'm an avid traveler. So I went on about a 6.5-month trip around the world, well, mostly Southeast Asia and Australia. And when I came back, I decided I don't really think I want to go to work every day, and I really want a lifestyle for myself where whatever it is I am doing, I'd like to be able to do it on the road. And that's when you introduced me to affiliate marketing, the digital space. So I started my affiliate website in 2009 after I came back from a large trip.
Yeah.
It's tikikiki.com was my website. It's a little out of date now, but it still looks nice. So I promoted affiliate products related to the travel industry and really got my feet wet doing that, just learning by building my first website and being in the business, starting my own social media accounts, just really working my way through it and learning as much as I could. I'm a big fan of exposing myself to everything and really, really saturating myself in whatever new item I'm learning. So I have a pretty diverse knowledge about all things digital marketing because of that, because I started from scratch and learned as I went, and that's the way that I expanded my affiliate business. After that, I actually got into building websites. I really enjoyed the service side of things. I really enjoy building sites. I realized that's a huge passion of mine. So right now I'm specializing in building small business websites. I also provide social media help, whether it's graphics or updating social media accounts, social media management, digital strategy as a whole, especially for small businesses that are brick and mortar who need to find a way how to get offline on to the internet, basically. So offline to online, that transition, it's not always easy. You'd be surprised at how many businesses out there still don't have a website. It absolutely irks me.
Stunning, actually.
Wherever you go, you can walk down the street in your neighborhood and pick a few businesses, and there's going to be a few of them who you can't find online. So I'm just really passionate about helping local businesses, small businesses, make that transition.
And then you and I, of course, I mentioned earlier, we've had a chance to travel to many conferences, New York City, of course, Vegas a number of times. I'm trying to think of the conferences that you've been to. You and I ended up with Arlene at the Ritz-Carlton at Half Moon Bay for the Share Sale Think Tank.
Yeah, that was gorgeous.
Out of San Francisco. That was a beautiful conference. And just I'm pretty much the same. I love to learn. I love to help small business owners. I kicked off my online story, I guess, back in 1999 when a friend of mine wandered into my home office and showed me a little website that he'd built that he was generating a pretty decent revenue from. And I asked him if he wouldn't mind teaching me the same, because at the time, the kids were a lot younger. Now they're all mostly in their 20s. One more is 19, just about to go 20, but the other three are in their mid-20s. But back then, they were all in the early teens. And there was four of them, and they were hungry, and they needed to be fed. And I needed a new business, and he wandered into my office and said, "Look at this." And I said, "Can you show me how to do this too?" And he said, "Sure." And for the next 6 months, he did exactly that. And we never really looked back. I ended up writing a book on the subject of affiliate marketing back in 2002 called The Affiliate Marketer's Handbook, which needed a companion audio newsletter the following year, which is our podcast called The Affiliate Buzz. And we're about to celebrate our 12th anniversary podcasting online, even before the word even existed. And I've written a number of books on this subject, including Online Success for Non-Techies, How to Take Your Business, Hobby, or Profession to the Internet. And I wrote that book for One-on-One Hosting, the largest hosting company in the world. Hosted so many webinars and boot camps that I've lost track. Founder of the School of Internet Marketing, host of Podcasting Mastery webinar and courses, and I just love it. I just love everything about working with small businesses and entrepreneurs who want to really make an impact or use the internet to impact their own lives and their customers' lives. So it's something I'm excited about. And you and I have podcasted quite often on my own show, The Affiliate Buzz, and I've had you on as a guest numerous times. And I think we're going to be able to pull a lot of the detail of what we're going to be covering in that. So we're going to have some fun with the show. We're going to play a little bit of music as we go. We're going to lighten it up. We're not going to take ourselves too seriously. And we're going to have some real fun with it. We're going to get a name for the turtle. We need a name for the turtle. I feel bad he doesn't have a name.
You can find him in our logo. He's got a headset because he also likes to podcast.
That's right. We added him to the logo, and of course we had to put a little headset on him because he's a podcaster as well. Now let's talk about the turtle story a little bit. We're going to touch upon him as we go, and he is a him. But where the podcast title came from, Podcasting Mastery, work less, swim more. Work less, earn more, and swim with the turtles is basically came from something that happened to me, I guess, probably 10 years ago now, when I was in Maui with my wife Arlene and our daughter Victoria, who, as I mentioned, is 19 now. She was 9 at the time, and we're staying at the beautiful Sheraton Maui, and Victoria and I were out front in the ocean, swimming along, face down as you do when you're snorkeling, just paddling along, looking at all the beautiful fish in paradise, and not paying attention to where I was going. I literally swam right into a sea turtle. And I look up, and I kind of startled myself a little bit. There's this big sea turtle in front of me, and I just never forgot it. He just kind of turned around, looked at me. He wasn't spooked, or he wasn't startled. And he's just flapping those flippers, and he kind of looks at me, and I could hear what he was thinking. He's thinking, "You stupid tourist." And then he just...
Get off of my reef.
Yeah, he just kept going. And you know what? I never forgot it. And I'm such a fan of the tropical lifestyle and Hawaii and Maui. And I've always said through the years, and we've done it so many times now, all I needed, and this is back when we didn't have the dream car in the garage, and we didn't have any money, and the kids were hungry, and it was tough. I'd always said, all I need is a little hut on a sandy beach with a palm tree and some white sandy beach, crystal clear blue water, an internet connection, a small desk, and a turtle. And I could be set, and I could run my business like that from anywhere in the world. And that's the whole idea behind Work Less, Earn More, and Swim with the Turtles. And that's where if you take a good look at the logo there, you'll see the whole concept is designed into that, where you've got the hut, and you even see it there, Kimberly, you got the little sailboats in the background.
And birds.
And birds. And we have a couple of beach chairs, and the beach chairs are for those of you who are joining us. So don't know if we can get the tropical drink to you, but maybe we'll make an extra one for you every time you hear that blender go off in the background.
Yep.
So now, Kimberly, we're going to also share each week or each episode, we're going to talk about a particular problem, and then we're going to offer up a real live solution. And we're going to dig into it deep. We're not going to hold back anything. We're going to leave no stone uncovered, and we're going to share all of the details on that. And then we are also going to share a podcast each week or each episode. Why don't you talk to that?
Yes, because we are avid podcasters and avid podcast listeners, we want to encourage the community, the podcasting community and our audience to listen to other podcasts and really get into it. I mean, it's so accessible now with iTunes and iPhones and Android apps and everything. So it really is easy to consume these podcasts. And there's so many great podcasts out there, but there's millions of them to choose from. And sort of can be hard to sift through all of the content and find out which ones are good. So we're going to share our favorite podcasts with you guys, which we know that you'll like, because we like them, you should like them, because we don't like boring podcasts. Definitely don't like boring podcasts. But we're going to share something with you each week and encourage you to listen to other people's podcasts as well. We will also be sharing a podcast tool of the day. There's a lot of people out there who are teaching podcasting, quote unquote, who spread the word of needing, thousands of dollars worth of equipment and everything to get you started. We really don't believe in that. We think, the simpler the better. You don't have to break the bank to start your podcast, and there's many resources out there that are free and are also inexpensive. So we're going to be sharing a podcast tool of the week each week to help you get started with your own podcast.
That's a very good point about a couple of them there. You mentioned that podcasting is easy to consume, and it's one of the reasons I think that it's come on so strong is because it really is. You mentioned apps. There's apps that you can download, and maybe I could give the listeners a little bit of homework and send you over to a website such as Stitcher.com or Spreaker.com. Stitcher is spelled Stitcher. Stitcher.com or Spreaker, Spreaker. It's like speaker with an R. And download the app. Download the podcasting apps from those companies. Or you could go to iHeartRadio and do the same. And then you could begin to listen and find some shows that you like. I do know from time to time that I'm still running into people that I've never listened to a podcast, and I encourage them to do so. And then usually the next time I see them, they're raving about it. They're hooked on some new show that they found online, and they love it, and they just love the way that host has put their show together, and they really are starting to enjoy podcasting. And the other thing that with podcasting is it is so accessible, because not only the smartphones make it real easy to listen. All of the vehicles, or many of the vehicles, most manufacturers in fact, in 2015 are now shipping cars with Wi-Fi. You may be seeing the commercials on television where they're showing the Wi-Fi radios and the podcast directories built right into the dashboard of the car. So that makes it really easy to use. And then, as you said, tools. We're going to share some tools with you each week, where we're going to share the headset that I use, for example. And thank you for pointing out that we're a team here that don't believe that you need to go buy a whole bunch of equipment. You don't need a $1,000 or $2,000 equipment package. What you need is a good headset, and I happen to use a German-made Sennheiser headset. You can have a look at it if you go to podcastingmastery.com/headset. And you'll see it's a very lightweight, small headset, German engineering. Sounds, in my opinion, sounds fine. And in Canada here, it's under $50. And that's about the only equipment you're really going to need to get launched with a podcast of your own if you follow our strategies for developing it. Also, as we discussed earlier, we're all about monetizing content. And that's something that I've done for 15 years. The affiliate marketing space, the way you earn your income as an affiliate marketing is by performance. If you don't send customers to the merchant who's going to pay you a referral for that lead or that customer, you're going to starve to death as an affiliate. So we've learned many, many ways in how to monetize podcasts. So if you're wondering how to convert a podcast listener into a new patient in a chiropractor's office, for example, or you're wondering how to use a podcast to drive sales to your retail store or to fill up your pub with new customers or new patrons, we're going to cover all of this and more from real life experiences, and we're going to share real strategies that we use that work and that can work for you to drive new business. And more on the tools. We've got all kinds of free tools that you can use, so you're not going to need to be pulling out your credit card all the time to start your own podcast. So I'm excited about it, Kimberly. You?
Absolutely. They might have to pull out their credit card for like a plane ticket though, so that they can podcast from somewhere tropical.
That's part of the deal. We want to hear a story of the coolest place that you've ever recorded an episode. And my coolest place that I've ever recorded one was on a cruise ship between New York City and Halifax. Something had gone wrong with one of our episodes and it needed to be re-recorded. And I'm sitting in my stateroom on a beautiful cruise ship recording a podcast. And I thought, you know what? This is a cool business. I like this. And that was probably, 8 or 10 years ago now, and we've been doing it ever since. And we're going to share all the tips and strategies and the lessons that we've learned along the way. We're going to have some fun doing it. We're going to kick off the blender. We're going to wave to the blue Hawaiian helicopter as they go by with the tourists. We're going to maybe hop in the boat from time to time, and we're just going to have an all-around good time. Kimberly, the other thing we're going to do at the end of every show is we're going to share a very special report or two. We've got a whole list of them created for you. Why don't you pick one from the list that you think might be best suited for this show? Maybe I'll let you pick it.
I would have to say, organize your podcast in 21 easy steps. Since we are talking about people who haven't necessarily started a podcast yet or might be interested but not sure how to get going, I think that's a great resource for them to start with.
Absolutely. Or maybe you've missed a few steps along the way and you're not earning any revenue yet, or you are underway, but it's not quite clicking for you. Definitely get the checklist as well and kind of use it as a sanity check. And you can find that at podcastingmastery.com/checklist. That's podcastingmastery.com/checklist. Kimberly, thank you so much.
Thank you, James. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for joining us on the Secret Beach Hut Studio. If you are ready to start your podcasting adventure and to learn the secrets of podcasting your way to a stress-free lifestyle, go ahead and download the free Podcasting Mastery Checklist at podcastingmastery.com/checklist and start your adventure today. But don't wait, the checklist won't be free for long. So be sure to grab your free copy today at podcastingmastery.com/checklist.